And welcome back to the Shoot For It podcast. We're doing our third and final round of the Blind Movie Showdown. I don't know. Part 3. How do we feel about the first 2 rounds?
I feel better about the first round, weirdly enough.
I think the first round, it had overall better movies. So maybe that's why we feel more confident about it.
Yeah, and I feel like I've learned different things from each round. So hopefully we can implement those strategies.
We're taking it one play at a time.
Yeah.
We're playing as a unit, playing as a team, playing unselfish basketball.
And you know what, viewers? We're not going to take y'all's feelings into account this time. This is our list.
So our list.
If we're mean, we're mean. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do. This is our list.
Yeah. But still, roast us in the comments, please.
Number 3, I think we're going to have a slightly different strategy to it.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes.
Number 1, we're ready to go.
Nick, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Blind Movie Showdown, Part 3.
Begin. What do we want to start with?
Are you selecting these manually?
I haven't been, but this
Now
third round, I'm
switching it
getting
up.
a little twisty.
Okay, he heard our strategies, and now the AI, aka Nick, is compiling
their
strategies.
They're learning.
Alright, y'all ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
This is one we mentioned earlier.
We did mention this earlier. I can't put this below 5, personally.
Below 5.
I can't. I can't put it below 5. Great movie. Definitely, it's not my favorite ever movie. The ending really saddens me, but I feel like they didn't have to do that.
I mean, I wouldn't say this is like one of my favorite sports movies of all time, like you said, but there is a really great scene where it's like the CEO of Ford shows up.
Every scene with that guy.
Yeah, like they're making that test vehicle, the test GT40, and it like hits like a top speed of like 240 miles per hour or something like that, and he's like whipping him around in the parking lot with it, and he doesn't expect much at first, and you can tell he's like holding on for dear life and kind of screaming, and then right when the car stops, they like come to abrupt stop, and then like the guy just like bursts out into tears.
Yeah.
And like I've seen that clip put all over social media, but it always skips like what happens right after he cries, and he's like, "Oh, I wish my granddaddy was around to see this. He would have been so proud how far cars have come and how much of an impact Ford has made on that that whole market." So
yeah, I like that scene. And another one of my favorites is at the end when Ken Miles, don't want to spoil too much of it, but he doesn't get what he wants, but Mr. Ferrari himself tips his hat, and that was the sweetest surprise of all.
I remember
little moments like that, iconic. That's why I have to put this in at least the 5.
No lower than 5.
No lower than 5.
Okay, with the way Nick's trying to
sway us.
He's trying to do it again. He's trying to make us put something too low or too high and put it in the middle.
I think this needs to go at 3 or 4.
I think... Should we go 3?
I think 3 is fair for Ford versus Ferrari. So? It's not my favorite. I'm okay with 4 too. At the same time, I'm okay with 4.
When you think sports movies, you don't necessarily think racing and driving first.
That's true. I think 4 is fair.
4? Okay.
It's not 5 because it's too middle. But it is in the top 5, so I think 4 is good.
That is almost. I mean, that's still kind of towards the middle, but we're gonna try.
I think we're gonna be okay with that one. I don't think that one's
trying to be more conscious about our picks.
Our picks. Oh God.
Ford versus Ferrari.
You guys can see what the face our producer's making behind the camera here.
Smithers over there.
It's excellent. It's worrying and it's making my heart pound. I'll put it that way. All right, on to the next. This is a great movie.
Oh, man, this one is.
He's overflowing us with the good stuff right off the crack. This one's really good. Lots of really iconic people in this. I really like the scene where they start lateraling it.
Yeah,
lateraling the ball.
Of the movie, right?
Yeah, that's a really good scene. Just like getting the prison. It was a prison versus guards or something.
Yeah, I mean the concept.
It's so dumb.
I mean, there's so many like movies that Adam Sandler makes where it's like kind of like the most outrageous concept, but then it just works. Something about them, they just works.
This is a rewatchable classic.
I mean, yeah, this one had, Michael.
Is this better than Ford versus Ferrari, would you say?
I mean, and in my personal rankings, as much as I enjoy it, I think it's got to be pretty high.
Yeah, I agree. I thought I didn't let him finish, but I thought he was gonna say it was better.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Sandler, Cameron. It's got Michael Irvin, Chris Rock, the Great Khali.
Oh yeah, that ping pong scene with Khali is hilarious.
Yeah, bro. I mean, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin is in it.
Oh, there's so many good. Okay, this has to be at least.
I mean, did I mention Burt Reynolds already?
You didn't.
I mean, Burt Reynolds is in it.
I think 3. I think 3 is a good spot for this.
It is a goofy movie. Do we want to put it at 3? I mean, I love this movie.
I think it's a classic. I can rewatch this movie. I have rewatched this movie. Not recently, but I have seen this a couple times, like throughout the years. Something I'd recommend. I think it's better than Ford versus Ferrari, which maybe is a controversial thing to say, but
I think we got to do it.
It fits more than it fits the sports category more than Ford.
Yeah, I mean, like we're saying, you identify a sport movie in your head. Someone's like, top 3, go quick. You have 10 seconds. This one might come out.
Yeah, and this one is also an Adam Sandler classic because he has so many movies, but this is one of his main ones that I think show
one
up.
of his most memorable movies, and I think this one might be better than Happy Gilmore. That might be a hot take.
No, I agree. I think The Longest Yard is better than Happy Gilmore.
It's still kind of goofy, but it's not as goofy as Happy Gilmore. Mm-mm. Okay, number 3. We're locking it in.
Longest Yard at number 3. I feel comfortable with that. All right, Nick, you better stop making that face.
All right, he's playing with us here. Caddyshack. Okay.
Not one of the movies that come to mind for me in the favorites.
Yeah, personally. Maybe this is from 1980. We were born in 2000. I was 2000. You're 99.
I'm 2000 too.
Okay, we're both born in 2000. I don't know, man. This one isn't really one of my favorites.
Mm-mm.
It's
very. I don't even remember. I might have seen it. I don't even know.
I believe I saw it as a kid because it's my parents knew I love sports and they just put it on one time and I was like, okay. I mean, that was all right. Oh, that's not necessarily one I would say is top tier sports movie.
Also, golf has just never been one of my top. The only golf movie I really enjoyed was Happy Gilmore. Yeah. I can't even think of another sports.
Well, there was another one that was a serious golf movie.
It was with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Right? I don't remember.
That one was good. It was good, but
I should have put that one on the list.
It was serious though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Caddyshack.
I'm okay with putting it as a 10.
I would say 10. Just personally, not one that I really associate with a memory of any kind. Caddyshack.
Number
10.
Number 10. I feel comfortable with that too. This is the first 10 I feel real good about.
Yeah, I think that's the first one where I'm okay, 10. Yeah. We're sticking with that.
He got game.
Oh my
God. Ooh, this is a good one.
Personally.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Game.
I am the Son of God. I was sent down by my Father.
I would say this is probably my favorite basketball movie of all time in terms of it's got the whole package.
This is a really, really good movie.
Another just phenomenal Denzel Washington sports movie.
He's really good in sports movies.
He is. He's great at everything. But
yeah. This is also iconic sports movie. He's so good in this.
With Ray Allen.
Yes.
Jesus Shuttlesworth in the movie. I mean, that one scene.
Spike Lee.
It's a Spike Lee joint. That's what they always say.
Yeah.
I mean, that one scene where it's they go one-on-one. The dad, Denzel Washington, he's in jail. He's shooting around all the time at the recreation hours. He has some kind of deal.
Mm-hmm,
I believe it's
I remember that.
I believe it's with a college that's he's trying to get recruit him to join a certain college, and he gets released out of jail for that, which is kind of an insane kind of concept.
Yeah.
But they do it really well. There's a love interest in it.
There's everything you need.
But like I said, that one-on-one scene towards the end of the movie.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! That Denzel was.
I need to rewatch this.
Denzel was actually hooping in that clip.
He was.
It wasn't a stunt.
It's one.
Double.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I've heard in an interview he actually was playing. And,
that's cool.
You're playing against an NBA talent like Ray Allen, who, I mean, at the time, I think he was still with the Supersonics, or he maybe wasn't there quite yet, but he was crazy bouncy and athletic. He was one of the talks of U.S. sports for the NBA, and for years to come. And then he ends up winning championships with the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, we watched it together in college one time.
Actually, I think...
Because you said, like, oh, this is my favorite basketball movie.
I think I might have made him watch it.
Took the senior level shots and then...
Yeah.
Put this on late at night, so... This is a great movie.
This one...
I'm okay with putting this at 1 or 2.
I think I gotta put it at 1 for me. What are you thinking about that?
So, I'm okay with putting it at number 1, but... We're not even halfway through the list.
Mm-hmm. We got 3 and 4 occupied. This guy's scheming and plotting over here.
I'm still okay with it number 1, but I'm gonna put devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
The other number 1s was Moneyball and
Remember the Titans.
Remember is this He Got Game? Is it as good as those two? Not just as a personal level, but on like a holistic level.
It's close. I mean, I would say maybe those 2 movies are slightly better, but this one is a great film.
Honestly, I really, really like this film. The only thing is, it's not like one of those ones that everyone knows.
It's
you know
not
what I mean?
as popular.
It's not as popular, but it's so good. You know what? I'm okay with it number 1.
I think I have to put it on 1.
Yeah.
I think I just could have.
I think this is one of your favorite movies, personally.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter if it's a sports movie.
Yeah, it's just a great
I remember how hyped you were about this.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's kind of coming back to me now. I was like, we were talking about it. I was like, we always talk about basketball, MMA. Just like that's why we decided to make a podcast.
Yeah.
So we were sitting on the couch one day, and I was like, oh, you know what? We should watch this movie. And he's like, I've never seen it. I'm like, oh, well, we have to watch it now. It's like one of those type of movies.
Yeah.
You have to see it.
Yeah. Okay, number 1, locked in. Feel very good about it.
Can we get an update on the rankings?
Oh, so number 1, He Got Game. 2 is Blank. 3, Longest Yard. 4, Ford versus Ferrari. 5 through 9 are all blank. Caddyshack at 10.
Dude, we have a top-heavy list this time.
Top-heavy list. I think he's really trying to mess with us.
He's messing us up, y'all.
I don't feel bad yet.
I don't feel bad.
Longest Yard.
I feel bad that I don't feel bad.
I don't know, man. We're going to get flamed online.
Let's see.
But Longest Yard at 3.
Ford vs. Ferrari is the only one I feel a little weird about, but it was really good. So
it's
you
a
know
good
what?
movie.
All right, let's keep going. Oh!
Okay. Well.
Whew.
We all love Stallone, right? He wasn't in Creed 2, right?
I like Creed, but is it weird? Okay, this might be a hot take. It's really good, but it never hit me like the Rocky movies.
No, not even close.
Is that strange to say?
Not even close. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it was made in like the 80s or whatever. That Rocky hits so hard.
It's so weird how much more Rocky hits.
With like the opponents they're going up against. I mean, this one was...
And Michael B. Jordan just frowns too much. He's like, one of the things that made Sylvester Stallone cool was that he was kind of nonchalant and chill and like...
Yeah.
He was a Sigma to the max.
Here comes the smolder.
I think this one is trying too hard to replicate like, the original Rocky movies where it's like...
Yeah.
The hero and the villain, and it's literally just like Rocky is training Apollo Creed's son. Like, hey, that's cool, but like you couldn't have come up with something newer. Yeah. I think they're really just riding the coattails of the Rocky franchise a little too much in this.
Fun fact, I actually ate at the Philly cheesesteak place in the movie Creed that he went to with the girl. I don't know if y'all know that scene
I'm
like talking about.
Or something?
It was called Max's. I went there at night. Horrible part of town, in the hood. I almost got mugged. It was very dangerous. Do not go there. It was bad. It was really bad. And even the owner was like, "What are y'all doing here? Like, you guys know this is like a bad part of town." So just a little fun fact. They didn't even take card, only cash. So
cash only business.
But back to Creed. I will say, I didn't like it as much as Ford vs. Ferrari.
I don't think I did either. I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not really...
I'm okay with putting it at 6.
Not one of my favorite sports movies of all time.
Yeah,
I couldn't say that.
I'd say it's definitely not in the top 5, but it's in the top part of the 6 to 10. So I'm okay with putting it at 6 or 7, Gabe.
I'm thinking 7.
7's okay, honestly.
I'm thinking 7.
Maybe that's a hot take, but I don't even think it is. I don't even think anyone's like, who's like, oh, Creed's the best boxing. No one says that.
No one. Never heard that.
Yeah.
But Creed at 7. We're locking that in.
Yeah. Ooh, Space Jam.
I knew this would have to show up eventually. Okay.
Yeah, and like as I said before, I've never seen it, unfortunately.
Okay, well,
so, this is all up to you.
Crucify him for that.
Crucify me for not seeing Space Jam.
Okay, well, I'll say this: It's not the best movie of all time. It's probably the most iconic sports movie, but that doesn't mean it's the best. I wish we had the number 3 spot open. Longest Yard at 3. That was I think that's our first mistake of this list.
Really? I mean, I've never seen Space Jam, but The Longest Yard is really good as a sports movie.
I think it's just a little bit high.
It is a little high.
Ford vs. Ferrari is maybe a little high. That could have been 5, 6, somewhere around there. I don't know. This one, I can't put it at 2.
Yeah.
I just personally can't. Even though it's a basketball movie, it's with the great Michael Jordan. A lot of people call him the GOAT.
I think
don't
5.
know about that.
I think 5 is a. That's a topic for another day, everyone. You heard him say that. That's for another day. Michael Jordan not being the GOAT, or is he? Is another day. But going back to Space Jam, I mean, from what I know about this movie, because it's so iconic. I mean, I know the plot and like I haven't seen it full, but I've seen clips and stuff.
Yeah.
Iconic, but objectively not the best movie ever. I think 5 is a fine place to put it.
I think 5's all right.
I mean, Ford versus Ferrari and Space Jam. I mean, you can make an argument it's better.
Because like we've talked about, like, okay, is this more geared towards like an older audience, or is this a younger audience, or is it a little bit of both? This one is like heavily on the younger side.
Yeah.
Like, it's a nostalgia movie for sure, but like it's just Michael Jordan. He's essentially on the court by himself, and they're just drawing cartoons around him, aliens and Looney Tunes. Like it's not really. And Bill Murray's cool, and I like Bill Murray, but I don't know, man. It doesn't strike me as like the best sports movie of all time.
Yeah,
it is the most recognizable.
I did watch a clip on why this was so big. It's because Jordan, like, no one had really done something like Jordan was such a star at the time.
Right.
I mean, something like this had never been done. Like Looney Tunes plus like Michael Jordan, like that concept, like it was so new.
And I guess people in the theater.
Yeah. So I'm okay with putting it 5. I think
5.
Yeah, just for pure iconic value.
It's not the best movie of all time. Yeah. So if you're going to argue that it's just the story's great, you're wrong.
Yeah, we're right.
Wrong. Not this time. Not this time. You're wrong. Not this time. It never happened.
And I'll argue back with you on that.
Yeah. All right. Oh.
Okay.
Tom Hardy's so good in this.
I want you go first on this one.
Oh, this is a good one. I also watched this on the plane.
I
watched this on the plane. I love Tom Hardy. I think he's one of the best actors right now. Gritty.
So diverse with his movies.
Gritty. As an MMA guy, I really like the story. I mean, I'd say it is pretty generic. I mean, a little bit like in the build up. But that's the only criticism I could have because it's like MMA, like he's just like a gritty, tough guy, like with nothing to lose kind of vibes.
I mean, I guess. Okay.
And like that backstory has been done, but it's done really well.
Okay, so this is my take on this. This Nick knows too, so that's why he's putting it now. I mean, we still have 6, 8, and 9.
Okay.
This is like one of my top 5 movies of all time.
Oh wow! Okay.
Like it doesn't matter the genre. This is another one that I just absolutely love. This movie.
Okay.
So, have you've seen it?
Yeah, I like it.
The general story?
Yeah.
So it's like this guy on the left, the Tom Hardy character, I don't remember his name in the film, but like he was like in the military and like he was in a really traumatic experience where like he had to rip the door off of a tank. Mm-hmm. And like...
That's right.
He like saved a few of his guys. And he was just like turned into like a different animal or whatever. He comes back from I think Afghanistan.
Serving.
And he has like this PTSD. He's trying to find an outlet to like express his like pain and his like anger and his loss and all that. So he starts fighting. Walks into this MMA gym. There's apparently some ranked professional fighter.
Yeah, that's the scene I remember.
Yeah, and then
can I get some work in with this guy?
The guy's like, oh, your training partner isn't going to show up for another half hour.
Yeah.
And Tom Hardy's character's already warming up in there. He's like, he goes up to the trainer. He's like, yo, I can keep your boy warm for you. He's just going to spar around a little bit. And he's like, nah. He's like, well, the fighter starts complaining, and then he's like, where's my partner at? We need to get going on this. Like, I don't have all day. And then the trainer looks over at Tom Hardy. He's like, hey, come on, let's do this. He goes in the ring, and the other guy doesn't take it serious at all. Yeah. He's kind of just messing around. And then Tom Hardy just absolutely obliterates him. Slams him like classic Rampage Jackson and just batters him to knock out.
That's a great scene.
So the other side of this is, I don't want to get too long-winded with this, but the Joel Edgerton character, he's just like a retired wrestling style, kind of like a Ben Askren MMA fighter, and they're like, long lost, essentially brothers. Like one of them lived with the father, one of them lived with the mother, and the father was like a terrible alcoholic, and he would like beat him and force the Tom Hardy character into fighting. He was supposed to be like this mythical Greek, like prodigy who's like never lost a fight, and he's won like 27,000 fights or something. Mm-hmm. Maybe Nick, you know who I'm talking about?
Alexander Karelin?
It's like Apophis or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, they both are like, strapped for money. They need cash. There's a big tournament. It's like $1 million prize. And they both sign up for this tournament, and they don't realize the other one signed up for it. And then, as time goes, there's more press covering these fights. The guy, Tom Hardy's a knockout striker. He's exciting to watch, and he's just putting everybody to sleep. He looks like a Mike Tyson that can kick. And then Joel Edgerton's character is just wrestling. He's kind of being passive and defensive. He's tapping people out. They end up meeting in the championship fight for the $1 million. And I don't mean to spoil the whole movie. It is 2011, but Edgerton punches his shoulder a bunch of times. He like breaks his arm, and he refuses to, tap out of the fight. There's no one in his corner. No one like bringing him a stool, putting ice on him, putting Vaseline on him. He's out there by himself. They're like, it was a scene where they're both like crying out there in the middle of the octagon. They're trying to end the fight, but the nicer brother who was a school teacher, he doesn't want to like hurt him anymore. But the other guy's trying to take his head off still, even with one arm. And then the wrestling guy ends up winning, and it's just like, I think that was like like you said, maybe it's kind of cliche, but like I thought that movie was just, it really hits hard for me.
I like the whole movie, don't get me wrong. It was just like the beginning was like, for me, it just felt a little like, like when I first remember watching it, it was like, okay, so this is just a movie about some troubled guy like getting into MMA. But they subvert your expectations.
Okay,
so I'm okay with putting it in the top.
I think
number 2 is totally fine.
I mean, I know I did a long explanation for it. I don't know what Nick's going to throw at us coming up next. I think I would have to put it 2 personally, but like if we put 6, then that's a safe.
We can't do it.
Then. It's better than Space Jam and Longest
Yard. So we
got to. We have to. Okay,
I'm totally fine with that.
Personal favorite. Hopefully, I didn't sway too much on that.
No, I like Warrior a lot. Nothing wrong with it at all. I definitely want to rewatch it. Honestly, now
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Can we get a rank update?
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and go.
Number 1, He Got Game, which I'm okay with. So
I'm totally fine with that.
Number 2, Warrior. Number 3, The Longest Yard. Oh, now that you're saying it, it's looking a little weaker. Number 4, Ford versus Ferrari. Number 5, Space Jam. Number 7, Creed. Number 10, Caddyshack. So we have 6, 8, and 9 open.
6, 8, and 9.
Alrighty.
Let's see what you got.
I think so far though, not a bad list.
It's a pretty good list. So people are gonna be mad with Space Jam at 5.
Yeah.
I don't care. Fine. That's
honestly
fine. What you got? The Natural.
Okay.
I honestly don't know this one.
Don't know this one at all.
1984?
No idea what this is.
Yeah, kind of older. I
know this?
I was hoping maybe y'all might have.
That's an easy 9. That's an easy 9.
Easy 9. Honestly, we can just.
Yeah.
We went longer on the last one. We're gonna go shorter on this one.
Yeah.
What is
we don't know anything about it. And it's baseball.
That's a basic sounding title too. I mean, The Natural.
How do we want to end this?
All right, we have 6 and 8.
6 and 8.
We have 6 and 8.
Oh, he's plotting and scheming.
Let's see.
6 and 8 left. Okay, we're gonna go here.
Rebound.
Oh my God. Okay, now this one was like a childhood.
I don't remember this one at all.
This one with Martin Lawrence, dude, it's hilarious. The team is called the Smelters.
Okay.
The Mounts Vernon Smelters. They go on the bus and they're like, SMELTERS. When it comes to basketball, we are the best.
Okay, well, this chant alone makes it...
Okay, I love this movie.
Clearly.
I love this movie. Nick, we almost burned the tape out. I watched this probably hundreds of times.
Really?
They bring out this, 6'4", sixth grader, and then like you walk out, he's like, "Bring out the sledge," and then he comes in, he's just like a clumsy, goofy looking dude with buck teeth. And, like the whole team is scared at first, And then, they start cooking him in the paint, and then they're like, oh, he's soft inside, and then they start destroying him. So, like, this is a movie I really liked.
Okay.
Martin Lawrence actually played 2 characters in this movie. He was like a pimp, like, pastor type vibe.
What? Pimp
Like,
pastor?
like a pastor, but, like, he would dress like a pimp.
Okay, yeah,
With the colorful suits, like Calvin Murphy with the hat on.
Yeah, with the fedora
and, like, the
zoot
sunglasses
suit.
and the chains.
My secret weapon. No weapon formed against thee shall prosper. How you doing, my brother?
He would come out like before some of the games, and he would be like, Lord bless these players.
Can I get an amen? Amen.
I don't remember what he said, but like it was like Cat Williams, like if he was a pastor.
Okay.
That's what it was like, but it was Martin Lawrence playing 2
Yeah.
characters. Anyways, great movie, but it's not a top 5 movie of all time. Like, he got Game of Warrior.
Is it better than Creed?
It's probably not even better than Creed in terms of a movie, but like this is a movie I love. This is it's not a good movie. It's a bad movie, but I love it. Like,
so the next one is either going to be a 6 or 8. So how do you feel?
we might have to go. It's not better than Creed.
Yeah, I think
We're
8
gonna go
is
8.
good. Yeah,
We're gonna go 8, I guess. Rebound.
I'm okay with that.
And if y'all haven't seen this is a great one. It is a little bit more geared towards kids, but it's good.
All right, last one.
Last one.
It's got some adult humor. But
Oh,
Rocky.
wow.
Well, at least we can at least put it above Creed at 7. We have 6 open.
Yeah,
Longest Yard and Ford and Ferrari. That's.
I think if we just moved Rocky to 3 and then the rest down,
Yeah.
that would have been fine.
I think so, actually. But you know what? I guess we were smart to not put Creed at 6 because we could put Rocky over that. So that's
Perfect.
We're not going to get torched too much online for that one.
Rocky's great. Honestly, I feel like the second one was my favorite. Though.
The second one is against Drago, or is
no,
that
the second one was the rematch against because he lost.
won.
In Rocky 1, he lost,
And he won the second.
but he won the second time. I really liked that movie. Because that one,
the third was when
he fought.
Creed got killed by Drago, right?
No, that was the fourth one.
That was the fourth.
The third one was what's his name was in it. He was the main villain. That was the worst one.
Clubber Lane.
Was it Clubber Lane?
There was like 5 or 6 Rocky movies, right?
It was what's his name? Mr. T.
Yeah, Clubber Lane.
Yeah.
That was his
Clubber Lane. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm not.
Rocky's fine.
Rocky at 6. This one is
better
definitely
than Space Jam.
It's definitely better than Space Jam, Ford vs. Ferrari, and Longest Yard.
Yeah. I'm okay with if we moved Rocky to 3 and then just slid everything down. I think the list would have honestly been pretty perfect.
I think so, actually.
So best list so far. We're getting better at these, y'all.
Yeah. So that was our third and final one.
You want to give the
results?
Final results.
1, he got Game. 2, Warrior. 3, The Longest Yard. 4, Ford vs. Ferrari. 5, Space Jam. 6, Rocky. 7 is Creed. 8 is Rebound. 9, The Natural. 10, Caddyshack.
All right, not a bad list.
I think that was our best one.
I think that was our best one.
We had a little hiccup with Longest Yard.
I'm sure that Nick is going to continually make these harder, y'all. We had a lot of fun making these lists and playing them. Please leave us a comment if you guys felt the same way. We're going to continue to do these. Up next, we got the MMA review segment. And then after that, we got some NBA stuff coming up for you guys soon. We'll see y'all very soon. Later.